Hey everybody, it's Joel here at DesignFlow Labs, and in this video we're going to show you just how easy it is to get started using a low-code collaboration and automation platform. So low-code collaboration and automation platforms, really you can manage any kind of work, whether that work be tracking chores for your kids all the way through sales opportunities as a CRM, through customer support tickets. These low-code collaboration tools really allow you to pull together all kinds of information, into digital workspaces, organize your teams around that information, and start to automate key aspects of those processes and that work. So for today's example, what we're going to do is we are going to actually walk through the use case of building out a projects application. So what I want to do is I first want to open up this spreadsheet here, because what we often see teams do as they're getting started, or starting to investigate the use of a low-code collaboration tool, is they're doing things fairly manually, right? And spreadsheets is one of the most favorite ways for teams and organizations to track various types of work. So what we did in this case, is we created a kind of a mock spreadsheet here to manage our projects. So we've got our project names. We've got the status, we've got the project lead, some start and end dates. Then we've got some data here around, how many hours we budgeted to each project, how many hours have been used, and the delta remaining. So again, it's good for kind of a quick look status, type perspective if you're managing things like this in a spreadsheet. But when it comes to peer collaboration, talking about the context around these projects and really digging into what's going on, spreadsheets don't really lend themselves all that well to doing that. Oftentimes what we see teams do is maybe add a notes column over here, and add a couple of quick notes, which I guess is helpful. But in a best case world, what we then see them do with the spreadsheet is maybe share it live via Office 365 to a group of users who might come in here and update things here and there. I wouldn't really classify that as collaboration. That's more just, record updating. Worst case, what we see them do is we see them get caught in this game of what's the latest update, right? What's the latest update on this project? What's the latest update on this task? All of this communication is getting handled in email or Slack or Teams or whatever, which means that this document is probably getting sent through those various communication channels. And I'm willing to bet that document is probably not up to date as people are saving it to their own individual devices or their own versions, of OneDrive or what have you. So again, just from a pure collaboration standpoint, not really that effective in moving the needle of productivity. But what we're going to do in this video real quick is we are going to show you how you can quickly take this spreadsheet model into a low-code, collaboration platform, and really start to gain some benefits around collaboration and automation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to a platform called Podio. This is part of the ShareFile business unit. Podio is a low-code platform that we use internally. We help a number of clients use in addition to some other platforms. Very powerful tool, yet very intuitive, from an interface perspective. So we'll start with this platform here, and just quickly show you how we can go ahead and build out a projects application to manage those same projects, but with the added benefits of additional collaboration. So I'm in a workspace. Basically, in terms of Podio, a workspace is just a digital workspace where a team of people can come together to work on common work elements. So in this case, this is going to be a workspace to manage just projects for right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and say create an app. I'm going to create an app called Projects. Let's do that. Let's give our projects an icon here. Maybe these are website development projects, whatever. You can give it an icon. And just for grins, we're going to give this a table layout, which can be changed later on. But just for right now, we'll give this application a standard table layout since we're already used to looking at this data in Excel. So I'm going to go ahead and create my app, which brings me to the next piece of the process. which is the heart of low-code collaboration platforms, right? The low-code, no-code perspective, which is it's very easy to create these applications based on drag and drop interfaces of these various data fields. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say project name. For right now, I'm just going to use a single line text field for project lead. Let's say category. This is project status. Let's say we've got not started, in progress, late, complete. I think that was all in my head in my spreadsheet. Complete, late, in progress. Yep. We can even give it a couple of colors here. So not started, in progress. Let's make late red, complete can be blue. Maybe, there we go. And then let's go ahead and add the rest of our fields, which were the project date fields. So I'm going to drag a date field over, project dates. I'm going to hide the time entry. We don't really care about what time the project starts and ends. In this case, we're just tracking the start and end date. So I'm going to do that. And then we'll add our fields for our hours budgeted. If I can type budgeted, and hours used. And let's go ahead and save that. So now you can see when I come in and add a project, I've got all of my data fields here. I could enter the project name, quickly enter the project lead, give it a status, set the dates, the budgeted hours, and the used hours. Now, if you recall on our spreadsheet, we had an extra field that was calculating out the hours remaining. So let's go ahead and account for that real quick, actually. Let's grab a calculation field. These fields are very powerful in this platform, but for right now, I'm just going to use this very simply. So this is going to be hours remaining. And let's make this at hours budgeted minus at hours used. There we go. Okay, so I've got my projects app here. Again, just to recap, we've got our project name, our project lead, which for right now is just a free text field. That's fine. We'll show you something you can do here in just a second with that. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring my data in. So I'm going to come over, and because I don't want to go type all that project information again, I'm going to go grab that file. Make sure that's the right one. It's on my desktop. Yep. Let's go ahead and we're going to map the fields. So status, project lead, our project start and end dates like this, our hours budgeted, and our hours used. I'm going to click next, and it can see here I'm going to import 7 rows, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. So right out of the gate, we can see that all of our projects came in here. Again, since the default layout was a table layout, it looks very much like an Excel spreadsheet. I can adjust these columns here, so I can kind of do this and see everything in one shot. And you can see here I've also got a saved view. So I can also set these saved filters or saved views up here to view certain things. So let's maybe get rid of this because maybe all I want to see in my table is all of those that are not complete. So I only want to see open projects, not started, in progress, and late. So there are 4 of the 6. And let's say open projects by status. And we're going to split by status, and we're going to save. So now I've got this here. I can see all of my open projects, and I can filter down into those that are not started, in progress, so on and so forth. So the nice thing also about these platforms is these applications can be related. So in this scenario, just real quick, I just put in a free text field for a project lead, but maybe we want to have an app called Project Staff. Let's say staff. And let's just choose this one. And this is going to be a table. And same process. We can say name. You can throw in things like staff email, staff phone, staff location if you really needed it. You can rename these so they're easier to identify later on. Just throwing in location just to give you an idea, around some of the things you can do here. So let's just go create one for our user Joel. Let's just use my email. We'll use my phone. And we can add a location here. I'm just going to use 123 Main Street and see what it pops up with. It's not finding any. There we go. There's one. And so the system is going to grab 123 Main Street, wherever that is, and pull that into a map. If you're on the mobile application of this, just for the record, you can click this map and then open it in Google Maps or Apple Maps. It's very helpful if you're doing field service type stuff. But the reason I wanted to create that staff app is because rather than just have that be a free text field here, I want to down the road replace that and say I want to relate these. So my project staff can be a drop down to be selected. So this one is Joel, so let's go find Joel. And you can do it that way. Now, down the line, maybe you want to add an app. Maybe there's milestones that go with each of these projects. You could do the same thing. You could add a milestones app, which relates back to these individual projects. So now from a collaboration standpoint, what's really nice is you have the ability to communicate and collaborate in the context of these individual project records. So like I said earlier, when you're emailing spreadsheets back and forth, or even if you've got a notes field in here, a lot of times it's, not up to date. It might be stale information. But what you've got here is you've got the ability to come in and start collaborating, leaving notes, leaving comments, with other members of the team that might be related to this project. So maybe we need to share a link that's related to this project. Maybe there's a file, a document we need somebody to review and approve. We can add it to this project as well. You can ask the team a question, get their opinion. You can mention people here to get their specific they would get a specific notification to call them back to this record. So again, at the individual item, at the individual record level, there's a lot you can do here from a communication and comment standpoint. One of the other nice things about these platforms, with follow-ups and reminders, you can go ahead and on this one, you just push T on the keyboard, and I can create myself a task. You can see because I did it from Project 5 record, the record for Project 5, it knows it's in the context of Project 5. Reminder 1. I can assign this to myself today, and I can set a reminder. Oh, need a time here. Forget it. We'll just create the task, and now we've got a task associated to this record. And again, from a productivity standpoint, if I wanted to go see all of my tasks across all of my records, I could come up here to tasks and see those here. I could sort them by workspace. I could sort them by application, by label, any number of things. So let's go back here. Actually, let's go this way to our project. Just to hit on one more thing real quick. Another nice thing we can do here is we can start to do some basic reporting off of these records to be able to build out reports and dashboards for our team. So maybe we want to build one just for the team that shows the number of projects by status. We can do this, and let's say we want to save this report by status. We want to add this to our workspace homepage. And what that's going to do is that's going to add that out here at our main activity page for our workspace, which can house, a report. It can house any number of what this platform calls tiles. Could be links, could be images, could be reports, any number of things. But I can now drill into these things very quickly and very easily to get to those as well. So a lot of capabilities, again, from a collaboration and automation standpoint, without taking a lot of time to fully go and build out, a platform to code all these things in. Now, one more thing I do want to highlight real quick is the automation aspect of this. Let me go back over to the other screen here, get this thing pulled up. We'll go ahead and add a very simple automation here, to our projects. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to create a very simple workflow, and all I want this workflow to do is to, when I create a project, automatically set it to not started. And actually what I'll do is I'll put in, we would take out the text field for the project lead, but just for demo purposes, I'll show you how we can do some additional automation. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a workflow that says when this item is created. So this is the workflow engine. I'm just going to say create. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say I want to update this item, and I want to make project status not started, and then I want to search for items in our staff. Let's see here. In our staff application, where staff name is equal to staff lead. And I want to actually do that first, because what I'm going to do is then all in one shot, I'm going to say project staff. I'll do it this way. Project staff is equal to the staff name, or staff name is equal to project lead. Okay, so we've got our automation in place. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create, I can't remember what project we were on, we're going to say 10. I'm just going to put that in here. And then if I save the project, we'll see the automation take off, and it will update our status and our staff. So if I do a quick refresh here, we can see now that because it recognized the project lead, it went and found this, and it auto set our status, to not started. So again, the levels of automation you can undertake in these various platforms can be very, very advanced. This is a very basic use case, but again, just wanted to show you how quickly you can get started in some of these low-code platforms, to be able to better connect your teams, organize your information, and start to automate work.